Hey, what's up? This video is meant to be for me 1 year ago. 1 year ago. Well, let's see what that would have looked like. A year ago, I had recently moved into this apartment with my wife. We got married a couple of weeks ago. A year ago. And let's see, this journal, March to June 2024. If I were to look in here at April 24th, we could see maybe a little bit of what my life would have looked like. April 24th. I slept from 11:08 to 8:20, and got a little over 9 hours of sleep. I brought the trash to the compactor and returned my moped rack to Chad. Now I returned the moped rack to Harbor Freight. And then I went and picked up the moped rack from my brother-in-law so that I could go back home and pick up the moped from the farm that we moved from. I got Chick-fil-A that day. I drove home back to the Gulf Coast of Florida, and I called Zach and Yogi, and we talked on that drive. I helped the farrier, Joe, with one of the donkeys. I saw Mom at her salon. She gave me a haircut and some extra cards from our wedding. And then I drove back home that night. So I did about 5 hours of driving that day. Doesn't look like I was working yet this time. So if I can flip through, I was taking a couple of weeks off, transitioning from installing tile every day into full-time personal training. So then if I look into the first week of May, we had training camp, and then I began working as a personal trainer full-time. A lot has happened in this last year, and it's been a lot of the same. Some of that included some really high highs. We got Bishop. I bet you didn't see that coming. We ended up with a dog. Bishop, come here. Come here. Let's say hi. Come here. Up. Up. Come on. Come here. Come here. Let's say hi. This is Bishop. Oh, we gotta get your nails clipped. Oh. Bishop was a rescue. Okay. Bishop was a rescue from the Brevard Humane Society. And when we got him, he was 33 pounds, all ribs. And they told us that he was likely a bloodhound lab mix. Come to find out, he's got a whole lot of Great Dane in him. And he just turned a year old last month. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh, big lovies. Maddie and I celebrated our 1 year anniversary, as I just mentioned, a couple weeks ago, and we're super grateful for that. We still go to our home church here, and they started doing Saturday night services, which we sometimes like to go to. Funny story about that. As you recall, me a year ago, we were the reason that they postponed their first Saturday night service last year, because so many members were coming to our wedding. So that's a funny little story. What else is new in the last year? Oh, see that? You may not guess what that is, but it's a crib, and we don't have one of our own on the way yet. But next Friday, we're going to have a home study where somebody from an organization called One More Child is going to come to our apartment and make sure that this place is child-proofed, and likely next month we'll be certified foster parents. So that's pretty exciting too. What else? What else? Christian, you have a really hard year ahead of you, right? And life is hard, you know that. But everything's going to be all right. I encourage you to get out in the woods as you did and go on walks. It seems to be not much more relaxing than that for your nervous system. I wish you would have read the Bible more this year. You prayed a decent amount, but I wish you had prayed more. You wrote a lot in your journals. You know, you kept track of your days that way. You actually became really good at using Google Calendar too. And you worked with hundreds of people at the gym. Hundreds. Your own clientele of like paying returning clients was about 80 people, and several of the people that signed with you this summer that I'm talking back to are still with you now. And we made some incredible progress. We got a lot of people out of pain, a lot of people doing like really, really well. You're in okay shape. You know, we didn't get as ripped as we had wished, but we're also working on something new, something that I'm not gonna speak on this, but you've been studying really hard, and you don't even see what's coming, and it's really exciting. You're gonna cry at least a few times, but it's gonna be okay. And those times that you try to bottle it up, it feels better if you just let it out. You know? Keep Maddie in the loop of how you're doing. It was your first year really on your own, and in your mid-20s. And you're gonna beat yourself up about that. But I heard this quote yesterday and I really liked it. I wrote it down. You couldn't have done anything differently because you simply didn't. And you'll reflect on how you got to this point in your life. And you'll think, man, I wish I did this like that. I wish I went here instead of there. but you have a life that you cherish today. I promise you. So you couldn't have done anything differently. Because you simply didn't. I love that. I was thinking about retaking this video because I paused so much and really worked through my thoughts. And it's not super coherent, but life isn't perfect, and it's not going to be. So if you're a stranger that watched this and found this interesting, stick around by subscribing, because I also just uploaded a video of myself to myself a year from now that will publish a year from now, of what I expect out of the next year, and that'll be funny, especially if I actually post more than a couple times on YouTube between then and now, to show the contrast or like similarities and what my expectations were to like what actually comes out of the next year. Bishop, you want to go for a walk? Exciting things coming. Exciting things have passed. Thanks for getting me here. Me. Oh, glory to God. All right.